Hello and welcome to Where the Living Room Used to Be, a podcast about Rhode Island's music scene. Hey everyone, it's James. On this episode, Charlie shares some insight she learned at music camp while in high school, and what she feels you need to be able to do to give and share with others. She also tells a fun story of what it was like for her to grow up in the woods of Burrillville, so hope you like that. And hope you enjoy this mini episode. Definitely check out the full interview I did with Charlie, as well as some of the other guests that have been on the show to learn a little bit more about our Rhode Island music scene. Thanks. Well, Charlie, I wanted to ask you if there is a piece of music advice from someone, whether it's a music teacher or fellow musician, an artist that you performed with. If there was a piece of advice that they shared that, kind of stuck with you, something that kind of resonated that you'd like to pass along and for people to hear.
Yeah. So when I was in high school, my senior year, my teacher, Miss Favali, told our class about this opportunity for this camp called, that was sponsored by Muzak. And it was like a camp about music business. So yep. I applied and I got accepted, and I went and we got to meet all types of people in the music industry. But that experience taught me that being kind to others and trying not to burn bridges is really important, because you don't realize how connected everything is and how people are here. If you burn a bridge, you're probably going to run into that bridge a bunch of times, and you're just going to probably feel awkward. So
well,
yeah, that's
here in
something.
Rhode Island,
Yeah, I mean, no, it's a small place, but again, and I get it. We all have bad days, whatever. I get that. And I don't really, again, when I was younger, I was stupider and probably didn't always act the way I should have. But that's something that I think that is really important, is to always try to be kind to others. And if you do act in a way that you don't feel good about, then just apologize and explain why you acted that way to someone. And that's what I've been trying to do now. I'm practicing that now, but that's something that I learned from that camp. And it was a great camp. And I'm so happy I got to do that. It was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that's just a good thing to take with you throughout just life, just how to live how to live and treat other people. But also with that, you've played, countless shows and, recorded this exciting new record, worked with producers, worked with, some other accomplished musicians. What would you say you've learned over this experience that you would like to share with someone that might be in that position or looking to kind of go down that path?
I think the biggest thing that I've learned about this whole experience is to find out who you are and do it. Mm-hmm. Be it. It's an experience. It's a learning process. Some days you're going to like yourself. Some days you're going to have regrets. But at the end of the day, you always got to love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, who will? You have to start there. Mm-hmm. If you also want to be able to give to others and to express love to others too. And that's just what I've been constantly working on, trying to love myself and trying to, just figure out why I want to do something. If it's authentic or if it's just trying to please a thought or a belief or the world. I don't want to please the world. I want to please my soul or who I really am. I just want to please that. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's the thing. Just if you I just want to see more kids out there doing it. I want to see kids off of their phones living. Mm-hmm. Because that's what it's about. It's not about any of this other bullshit. It's not about how many followers you have. It's not about how much money you have. It's not about any of that. It's about, are you living?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what we're all trying to do, is live. And that's the thing too. Like, I've had so many jobs, and it's like, man, they just crush your soul.
Yeah.
I don't want my soul to be crushed. Like, I'm over it. So yeah, and I think we all need to figure out ways where we can get out of those situations and be free. And we're going to figure it out, because that's how humans are. We're very resourceful, and I have a lot of faith in our society. Like, I have a lot of faith in our society, even though it seems like a mess right now, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. I do feel that we're taking a positive turn, that there's at least hope, you know, with where we are.
And the thing that sucks the most is I just want to take care of the earth, man. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know about you, but my childhood was playing in the dirt. I had a freaking bird bath that I pretended was like a cauldron, and I was a witch, and I would throw random like dirt and like all kinds of random ass shit with. I'd play with my sister, the poor kid. I still feel terrible about this. Me and the girl next door convinced her to eat like a mud taco we created. There was mud inside of it and a leaf. And I still remember the kid sitting on a swing set with it coming out her mouth, crying. And I'm like, Caitlin, why did you put that in your mouth? I was just kidding. I was being a little, crazy child. That's what kids should be doing out. I'm sure there still are kids out playing, in the dirt and whatever. Mm-hmm. But like, you got to get into the dirt. You got to play with like bugs and go explore in the woods. Like, I still can't believe that. I'd go over my grandmother's, because again, she lived in Burrillville, and I would just go into the woods, and I would like be in there for hours. I don't know why my mom let me go play in the woods, but I would go play in the woods.
Yeah.
That's what's the whole point of living. It's not social media. I had to get loud because it's serious. Yeah. I only do social media because I have to. Mm-hmm. I guess I like the interaction with like people. So that's a positive, but like the pressures behind it, it's just kind of, it seems like a waste of time almost. I think we need to figure out how to slow down and like get our priorities straight. Mm-hmm. But anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree that it's, it seems that instead of trying to stay in the moment where we are now, that it's, and I can be very guilty of it too, like looking at my phone for this, this world that's there, instead of just looking at where my feet are and being grateful for that. And, I'm always, curious to kind of finish this segment here, but I'm always kind of curious when I talk to musicians, like what inspires them, whether it's musically with their songwriting or just in general with life. So what would you say, that is with you?
Yeah, I think that I've come to realize that what I really find inspiring is people just going out there and getting it, mm-hmm. whatever it is. Like people who take things to the extreme and like in a good way, and set these like high standards for themselves, and like they don't know if they're ever going to achieve them, but they just keep working towards them. Mm-hmm. And they just keep putting themselves out there, and they just keep trying new experiences. And again, like, I think it's just based on like people that are out there living their dream. Like there's this artist named Dylan Earl. And like, I just think he's really like inspirational, because he like will do these crazy tours. Like you were saying how you guys used to do. And like he eats beans on the side of like out of cans out of the side of the road and shit. It's like, dude, I'm not really rough. Like when I'm with Brian, I mean, like, yeah, I work really hard. I waitress to save my money. And when we would go on tour, we'd only go 2 weeks at a time. So I mean, we're eating real food. I'm out there eating real food. Like I'm going to a cafe getting like an avocado toast over here. I'm not eating beans out of the can on the side of the road. So this kid is like hardcore. Yeah. And that's the thing too. It's like, dude, I need to get a little tougher. I got to get a little thicker skin. So yeah, I probably got to start like doing that. But yeah, I just think it's inspirational, and like just people who are just doing it. And like I also started, because Brian's like always into like extreme sports, and I don't know, it didn't really make sense to me, but then I started watching like rock climbing documentaries, and I'm like, oh my god, this is cool.
Yeah.
Like, no wonder why he gets into this. Like, yeah, this seems like cool. Like, people doing it, people living. And it's just like, again, if people are just doing what they love to do and they're not like suppressed, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's rad.
Totally, you know.
Yeah.
Well, Charlie, this is really cool. I appreciate you sharing just some of your insight and your experience with this stuff. It's really cool to hear.
I think it's cool just talking to you. And I just think it's nice to like talk about things that really matter. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Thanks again for listening. As Charlie and I have talked about, prior to the pandemic, she was constantly on the road with Brian McKinnon playing shows everywhere that they could. So I wanted to share a live song of hers. What I have for you next is her song Countryside, which was actually recorded at her CD release show at Askew in May of 2019 for her latest self-titled EP that this song appears on. Listen to the lyrics on this one. It's a great song. It's a great representation of Rhode Island country music, and I hope you enjoy.
Stickers that beat, I voted for Willie, hated it. It's a small world to skyscrapers may kiss the sky, and everywhere's in the countryside. Spend a small fortune playing and waiting on old jukeboxes across the nation over Tuesday years, and all disappears. Heartbreak's worth the Pulitzer Prize. Everywhere's in the countryside. We're all stars in a different show, singing along with the radio. All the same, different shades of gray, just trying to draw the rhyme. Everywhere's in the countryside. Used to think I knew it all, wasted time searching for gold, got caught up in the race, found out home ain't a place. It's a feeling I get when I hear Patsy crying. Everywhere's in the countryside. Cowboys aren't the only ones who like mountain mornings and setting suns wide open space. Commercial break.